Alright guys, so we are at the next stage of this. So the next stage that we're looking at right now is taking the dough out. We're a little past our time. It's about 7:30 right now. I'm going to take some flour, going to put it on a baking sheet. The reason why for the baking sheet is so we can roll it out, play with it, get it movable before we put it on the pizza pan. I'm going to take a little bit of flour, a little pinch. Want a little flour out there because we're going to beat the shit out of this bitch. Alright? That's the biggest key. Now it's rise. I've moved it around. You can see the height of it. I got the oven preheated. I keep moving it around. I want to make sure it's movable. It's a non-movable piece of bread. It's a horrible piece of bread. So one of the things I do is once I get a nice movement of it, we're going to transfer it to a pan. Now, the biggest problem I have until I get my new table that I'm going to make, my new countertop, is that pans or anything moves around. So once I make my new countertop, now that I'm got into like bread and pizza making, I'm going to make a little spot over here that's going to allow me to do my pizza and bread making without a shitty little pan sliding around. Because that shit really irritates me. You're trying to roll out the bread and it just wants to just roll anywhere it goes. No matter how many sticky shit you put under it or how much crap you put under it, water, glue. I mean, I tried Velcro the other day. It told the Velcro to go fuck itself. And it just irritated me. And I was ready to throw the pan out the window, but I can't because my mother's had it since she was born in the 1300s. So I just can't get rid of it. You know, my mother's a vampire. So, but anyway. So you see this right here, right? See how it's kind of sticky? So one of the tricks that I like to do is I take a little bit of flour, not all of it, just a little bit. You got to keep your top open. I'm going to coat the top of it. The reason why is so that when you pull it back to get it off the pan, it doesn't stick to what all the hard work you did. Right? So I pull it off, hold my hand like an octopus. Octopussy, that's really scary. That's like an airport that nobody can ever land in. And look at that, boom. It's just flat, like that. See? Real nice, simple. It's quick. It's almost like I've been doing this for a couple weeks straight trying to work out my bugs. The other thing I like too is sometimes with the roller has a tendency, I get rid of my bananas. My banana is for another project. But my roller has a tendency to do things that pisses me off. So a lot of times I like to just go in there and fist the bitch. Because when I fist it, I can really get in that form. I can really mold it to where I want. The roller, to me, is just kind of like more of a handicap. So now I can flip it. See how I flipped that? That was nice, right? That was a real nice flip. But the roller, I just feel like I'm just kind of rolling my way through life and I just never get where I need to be. Don't punch a hole in the table was what I was told earlier. Anyway, so I'm just going to keep doing that. Look at that. Now we got a square pizza. You know what a square pizza is? It's mozzarella, tomato, basil. It's also known as the, I can't fucking remember because I'm not Italian, but I'm Irish. But I used to like it. I do like it. I'm not saying I used to, but I still do like it. I just can't remember the freaking name of it. What the hell was the name of that pizza? Neapolitan is a fucking pizza with cheese and tomato sauce. Oh, what the fuck was that called? I used to order it special too. That shit cost me more money. Just have a fancy fucking pizza with mozzarella and fucking basil and tomato sauce on it. Jesus Christmas, man. Look at the size of this thing here. Yeah? I'm going to flip this bitch. Okay? How do you flip it? You pull it on the sides. Pull it up. Boom. That's how you flip it. Just simple as that. Alright? I'm Irish and I'm making pizza. That's scary, right? It's not something you happen normally in America. But nowadays, who the fuck knows? So, we have our pan full of pizza dough. Sort of, right? Get rid of that. Now we need a pizza pan. Our pizza pan is sitting on top of our oven, which is nice and warm. There's a reason behind my madness. It's not my first rodeo. Flour pan now. If the pan spins because my father used it as like an ashtray or some shit. But the pan spins. Come on, I gotta be a dick everywhere. Anyway, my mother runs away. Take her dough. Look at that, look at that. I am almost as good as Frank Sinatra. Almost, right? Look at that. That was pretty, wasn't it? I walked like a foot and a half with dough in my hand. That was stretched out. That was scary, man. That was scary. I was sweating my family jewels really quickly. So one of the things I do is I like to stretch on the other side. Okay, so when you get the dough, hold on, I gotta move you guys. You guys are looking at the floor. Okay, so right here, you're looking at the dough field. I call it the dough field, right? Do, re, mi. So I like to push it over to the crack. There's a crack, there's a crevice that's on the pan. This is what I like to call the dough field. Dough field, right? We gotta build the pie before we build the pie. You could laugh, I don't care.
I'm not laughing.
Okay, that's fine.
I was trying to crispy the pie.
The next,
Fucking driving me nuts.
yeah, it's I forget what it's called.
It begins with a C.
Yeah, it's not gun, but we got mozzarella cheese, right? We're gonna take our mozzarella cheese. We got a bunch of it. And dump it right in the center. Take our mutz. I'm gonna put it around. So I don't know if I cut enough mozzarella cheese. I cut it a little bit. I don't think I cut enough. Who knows? You start putting it around your outer edge of your pizza pie, which is something my mother doesn't see, which she's watching for the first time, and how I do this, which is really cool, because I learned this by doing it the first fucking time with myself. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna start playing with the cheese, and you just stick it around where you can stick it, and that's it. We want to put it by the crevice of the pan. That's the biggest trick. If you run into crevices, then I guess the rest of it you eat. I wasn't really sure when I cut it. Every time I do this, it's always the first try. So right now we have enough cheese, as you guys can see. So the next thing I'd like to do is I wet my fingers. Okay? And I wet my fingers and I run around just outside of the cheese. Remember, flour and dough and water acts like glue with one another. I know, things rhyme. It's kind of scary. Almost sound like I know what I'm talking about. But I've been learning as I go along. So I'm wetting the inside of the cheese. And I wet the dough with a finger. Run the finger around. Ring around the dozy. Oh, get a piece of cheese. Duck, duck, goose over here. I'm gonna wet the outside of it before we go back in there. Alright, so now everything's nice and wet. I'm going to make sure my cheese is sitting all nice and pretty. Once I start playing with it and things start moving around, I start realizing I can stick a little more pieces here and there. Once you play around with it, like I said, this is my first, go around. I mean, I did stuffed crust before, but not to this extreme level. Look at that. Holy shit. I needed every piece of cheese that's over here. I fucking have a chovy. Okay, so all the cheese was used. Very nice. Now I take the bread and I stick the cheese in the bread and I push it back. I want that stuffed crust. I like that stuffed crust. That stuffed crust from back in the fucking hell was that called? Fucking Pizza Hut days. Pizza Hut was the only place that ever did stuffed crust in New York. nobody else did stuffed crust. You know why nobody ever did stuffed crust? Because I guess nobody was sober enough to do stuffed crust. But Pizza Hut, back in the day when I was in college, they had stuffed crust pizza. It was mozzarella. And man, did we eat that shit by the handful. We would just order that pizza just for the stuffed crust. We didn't care how shitty it tasted. It tasted good. I mean, most of us were drunk, so it didn't really matter, but it tasted pretty good. So now that I got my stuffed crust up and ready, I start squeezing it down, pushing it. See how the water kind of made it turn it into glue? So I'm going to just get it closer to the edge, like such. I'm going to stretch that bitch. Remember, there's a lot of dough involved. Do, re, mi. You just start singing your song. You feel safe in New York from Frank Sinatra. Whatever song inside your head makes you feel better. Or butter. Butter, better, batter. Whatever you want to call it. Look at this. This is just me, as an Irish guy, trying to fucking make fucking bread, alright? Okay, look at that. That looks pretty, right? I'm a perfectionist, so I gotta go to the extreme. I gotta like outdo myself from the last time I outdid myself. It's bad. It's like a drug, you know. It's a drug that's free. It's just inside my head, and I just gotta outdo it. Okay, so look at this. So I got a nice little valley, right? Valley of the Stars. So I'm gonna take a little mayo, right? So you gotta think, what are we making tonight? We got a pizza with stuffed crust, with mozzarella cheese inside. We got a bunch of bread. Okay, it's movable. A nice little pizza dough over here. Okay, what are we putting inside? Well, we got some pizza sauce. Thank God we got more pizza sauce. Make sure you mix your sauce with the vinegar and also the acid that's inside of everything. That has a tendency to kind of get a little. Now remember, this spoon hit the dough. So this spoon is in raw dough. What's inside raw dough? Eggs. That means I can't put the spoon that's in my hand back in the container because then you contaminate it with raw dough, with raw egg, which then eventually leads to salmonella. So that's why we have another spoon that's meant for in case we got to go back in and grab another load. Okay. Nice and pretty. Now more of the sauce away from the edges, but a nice coating. You know, you want to get in there nice. You know, chef special, whatever you want to do. Got my hands a little funky. I'm gonna clean them quick. Sauce is on there nice. Take a little mayo. What else would you put on the cheeseburger? A nice fucking splack of mayo. And mayo tastes good. Doesn't taste like something that's bad, you know. So I'll take that mayo and spread that mayo right all over that sauce. You don't want a lot of it. The right amount is what we got. Now here's something else I'm going to try. Just for the hell of it, right? For shits and tittles. Okay? Got a little on the spoon and go along the edge. I want that pizza to have the rest of that flavor. Just a little bit. Now this dough's going to cook pretty quick. It's thin. It's got a bunch of shit on top of it. This dough's going to cook quick. You don't want to smother it. When you smother the dough, as I've learned before, the dough has a tendency to get a little, well, uncooked. I'm going to go back in, slice it again, spin it around. It's also like about at 18, we're about 13 beers in. Started out the video with that one. Alright. This is our cooking surface. Perfect, right? Boom, done. That's got to go away. Alright. Alright. Oh. Now our meat, which is in here from earlier, I decided to clean it out multiple times. I'm going to take spoonfuls of the meat and just stick it on to our pizza. Now you can take your hand and just carefully address it to the situation. The location of where it needs to be in that situation. I got something else in my head. Put it in the situation it needs to go to. The location. Location. Guys know that song? That's good. I can't remember it. So here's our chopped meat, very nicely set out. Remember, it's a pizza. You don't want to get too crazy. Next thing that is really good with a pizza is bacon. So I took a bunch of bacon, obviously, and pre-cooked it, and then cut it multiple times to get it to sit a certain way on top of the chopped meat. I'm going to press it down. We'll press it down just so that it sits and sticks a little bit more butter. Now, take a little bit of pickles. Take all the pickles. We got more pickles as well, but we're going to run the pickles. Can I get more pickles? Maybe not.
That's good.
Yeah, I don't want to do too much. Pickles, pickle. Actually, almost perfect fucking cook. Ta-da! Alright, I'm gonna wash my hands. Alright. So, got 3 different types of cheeses as our next step. Our next step is the cheese toppings before the lettuce get to the tomatoes. There's a lettuce joke. We gotta make this. Whatever. So we got Gouda cheese. It's good, but it could have been Gouda cheese. Okay. So I put my hand here to just stop the spread of extra cheese being put on places I gotta get rid of. I don't throw cheese out unless it hits the floor. I secretly just eat it off camera, but cheese, man, you can't let it go to waste. It's not like it's... I can't really say anything anymore. But anyway. So there's a nice little batch of Gouda cheese. I'm going to chase it up with some Monterey mild cheddar and Monterey. Monterey is a little spicy, but not so spicy that most non-spicy people can't handle Monterey Jack because it's kind of hidden. Monterey. So a lot of this is gonna just render down. In case you guys are wondering, it's gonna go. Well, actually, it's dough, so it's gonna be a. But I'm gonna be watching it because I still got tomatoes and lettuce to put on top of this thing, and it's gonna be a monster. That's how they are, though. When you actually buy a real cheeseburger, bacon, you know, they load it full of other crap too, to the point where you don't want to eat it. So look how tall this is. This is a big boy pizza. Big boy. I probably gained a lot of weight from eating these and taco pizzas, but hey, man, I gotta have one of these. I've been waiting for it. I've been craving it. You used to have this like once in a blue moon. Oh, I'm looking at it. I'm getting so excited. Look at this thing. It is a monster of a pizza. We got the mayo. We got the pizza sauce. We got the Gouda, the mild cheddar, and Monterey Jack cheese. Put on here. And we almost forgot the last topping. Sesame. Obviously, cover off. We got the sesame. I'm going to put the sesame seed on the rim. Come on, man. If you do not put the sesame seed on the rim of this crust, you are just not pizzaing it. And on the inside of the crust as well is mozzarella cheese. We're going to shove it in the oven. We're going to let it sit for a little bit while I clean up. Once it gets nice and hard, we can pull it out and put the tomato and lettuce on top. Slice it, dice it, shove it in your mouth, and have a great Friday afternoon. That is 23 long minutes, more than it should have been. But this is the biggest stage of getting my cheese, burger, bacon, pickle, pizza going. 10 beers later.